Live. Welcome to the show, Kamyiis. I'm really excited to have you on. Big time fan of
Thank
you. How are you
you.
doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you. All the way from New York as well. Like,
Yeah.
what's it like over there in terms of like the weather for you?
I mean, it's very pretty nice outside today. Warm weather, sunny. It was all raining yesterday, but finally we got some sun today, which I'm grateful for. So yeah, it's pretty
Amazing.
amazing today.
That's so great. How are you feeling in general? I mean, I'll have a lot to talk about, especially with like the current pandemic and like photographers in general, but how are you feeling mentally and your spirits?
I mean, like I feel like very like not really drained right now because like as you can see what's going on right now, we don't have the opportunity to create as how we used to because of this entire pandemic that's going on right now. But I'm still trying to keep creative, still trying to like do the best that I can to my ability
Amazing.
to when everything is done. Yeah.
Well, definitely want to get. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later. So I've got a lot of topics that I want to talk to you about today, involving your role as a creative director, as an artist, and I just love your photography and how you kind of celebrate, Black identity and how you do it so creative as well. Like it's insane, like all the art direction that goes into your work. So before I
So,
jump into that, my first question is, who is Kamyiis and what do you do?
okay, so Kamyiis is a New York-based fashion photographer and mostly work with in fashion industry, created and work with magazines, stuff like that. I was born and raised in Jamaica. Yeah, and I'm very creative, very focus driven, and like love doing photography. Yeah, that's basically Kamyiis.
Amazing. So when did you get into photography? Like how many years ago, or have you been doing it for quite a while, or is it very new?
Like for quite a while, like over 5 years now, but like in photography, like you started, you get your hands on camera, but you haven't taken it serious. So I would say like in 2014, that's when I got my hands on camera, and I started taking it serious in 2016. So I
Amazing.
was like, yeah, 5 years now, yeah.
So you've been in it for almost 5 years, passionately.
Yes.
That's great. So you've had a lot of work since then. And I'm just excited to just kind of jump into it, really. So,
Yeah.
looking at your profile, I'm just going to quickly jump into your website and your Instagram, and you call yourself a photographer, but someone who specializes in high fashion and editorial. And I
Right.
just kind of want to ask, what does high fashion mean to you, and what is editorial? What does it mean to you?
Okay, so high fashion is based most mainly off the clothing, how well you create with clothes, like something that is different from regular day-to-day clothing, especially when you put the makeup, the hairstyles together, and how you will give it like a different creative scenery as how you would like put stuff together to a day-to-day look. And also being the editorial is like most mainly off the publication. Are you doing for like a newspaper, a magazine? And it's all about the issue as the editorial wise. So like high fashion is like something that you put creativity into your clothing and something that's different.
That sounds awesome. So I'm just gonna kind of delve into your work again for high fashion and what kind of stuff like do you always think about when you're doing high fashion? Like, when you're setting up a photographic, shoot, what kind of fashion do you always lean towards? And like, there's definitely a trend in your work. So I just kind
Hmm.
of want you to like talk to me a little bit about that in terms of like high fashion.
Okay, so I'm a really vintage old school guy, and I really love like vintage clothing. I love bringing it back to the 1960s, the 1980s, and I got
Yeah.
inspired like in my photos. Though like the 90s like inspired me a lot, so I like go based off the clothing, like bring back those clothing style in today's society, in today's styles, and I just make the magic work. Like it's
Yeah.
like really what I love to do. Yeah,
Yeah, I can definitely see your influence in the 1960s. Like, it's great.
yeah,
And there's just, especially like in pictures like these where you've got the
yeah.
top hats and the blazers and the suits. And it is
Mhm.
a really nice throwback because you don't really see as many people purposely
Right,
wearing it today.
right. And I think it like kind of it's coming back into style right now too. Like even in New York, like people just like start wearing the '90s trend again. Those chunky boots,
Yeah,
those
definitely.
jackets, those boots. Yeah, I see like it's coming back and it's a trend right now, and it's I perfectly love it. I love it. I love every bit of it.
Yeah, 100%. I think you pull it off so well, like executing it and bringing it back to life again. Andrew in the comments says tones in that work are beautiful. So yeah, you've got fans. So definitely, I feel like you've given me like a nice little insight into what high fashion is, but you've delved into like some other creative directions as well, haven't you? I can see like you do like a lot of inspo from 1960s and like you kind of, talk to me a little bit about setting up your poses and like your locations because these are just like so interesting to look at.
Yeah. So my posing, I always tell my models like just relax, be you. And I love being weird too. Like, okay,
Yeah.
give me some different style and don't give me like a regular posing that you see in like tons of photographer pictures. Like do motions, do like things that looks natural, things that looks dreamy. Be like yeah, just putting that fierceness in it, move your emotions, just be natural, be you. And I realize I get most of my good pictures like just test shooting, like checking my
Yeah.
lighting. I tell my models to like just move around, twist, put your hands in your head, anything, just do something. I don't care what it is, just do something. And I realize that's how I get my great photos.
I agree with you there. Like I like doing, crazy posings and I feel like
Yeah,
you capture it really well because you're playing with high fashion and there's so much
yeah.
clothing to play with. So
Mm-hmm.
it'd be a shame if you didn't like at least show it off or express it.
Right.
That's amazing. So what do you do when you think about locations? How do you put interesting people in interesting locations? Because, it just makes me want to like go to New York. You're finding all these amazing places.
Well, to be honest, I'm not really good at finding locations. So what I would normally do is like when I'm out and about in the city or if I go to Brooklyn or somewhere and I just come up on this real cool spot, I just say, yes, I need to shoot at this spot because like I mostly like think in my head what I'm gonna do before I do it. So it's not like I just like go to a pen and paper and like
Hmm.
jot things down. Like I just go out. It's not really a scouting for me. I just go out if I come up on a cool, nice area, I would say like, yeah, this spot looked dope and I need to shoot right here. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
how I
there's a
go
lot
about
of
the spot.
improvisation and just kind of finding things as you go.
Mm-hmm. You're
That's
right.
so good. Well, you're very lucky with your locations because they fit like the styling so well.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, and you got some interesting use of props as well. Like, how do you decide what they're holding? And, is this again like just kind of improv or is it like what
Yeah,
kind of
so this one
ideas?
is yeah. First when I see I just wanted to like work with like fruits that time on
Mm-hmm.
I had this cape that he was wearing for a long time and I wanted to shoot it so bad and I was like sitting down in my house like and the cape came right in front of me and I was like orange came to my mind like orange. So I was like okay, let me just like kind of improvise this with an orange, a fruit orange, and just do something creative with it, and like bring out the creativity into both the cape and the orange. So I kind of let it combine together, and it just create this beautiful image.
Yeah, definitely. I think you engage with like props so well, and like same with things
Yeah.
like hats as well. Like I really
Hmm.
like this one so much, and like you're really thinking about your location and colors here, and it's just so cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely. So yeah, you giving me like some really nice insights into like, what is high fashion, and you got this editorial vibe because I feel like it fits in a magazine, but we're going to talk a little bit about like your journey into magazines as well. So I'm going to kind of jump into another topic, which is, your role as an artist and creative director. So, like, how did you get on that journey of being an artist, and how did you actually become a creative director? Like, when did that happen, or what, how did that happen?
Okay, so basically as an artist, like I mainly start with my own content first, like creative my own stuff and all of that. So as an artist, it's like all about what you imagine, what you feel, what you know, what you see in your everyday life, and you create something beautiful from that.
Mhm.
And like it just like everything you imagine, your thoughts, your ideas, you just bring it out into something beautiful. It probably may be writing, it comes out in music, painting, it comes out in graphics, and like
Mhm.
taking like photographing, it comes out in pictures.
Yeah.
So like that's what I mainly do. Like that's what being an artist is all about for me. So in creative direction now, like being a creative director, I create my own stuff, like come up with ideas, what I want my shoe to look like, the location, how the shoot's supposed to go, and what is the theme for the shoot.
Mhm.
So yeah, basically that's what I do as a creative director and like being an artist.
That's incredible. So, would you say that most of the time you're working with a team and not just yourself when you're on a shoot?
Yeah, I mostly work with myself. Like if
Mhm.
it's for like a brand or magazine, I would work with like other people. But for my own content, I definitely like come up with my own ideas and like create by myself.
Yeah, so coming up with concepts is really important as well as like a creative
Yeah.
director. So how
Hmm.
do you get to that stage? Like, where do you find your inspiration for concepts, and what gets you there when you're finding inspiration? Because I love this shoot that you did, where you've kind of got these two people, but then you've chosen like certain colors to like show them in different ways and different outfits. Like, what was the thought process behind setting up this shoot, and what did you do?
Okay, so this shoot, I wanted to take it back to Africa. I wanted to take it
Mm-hmm.
back to the culture because like it was Black History Month, and I wanted to do something beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And this shoot, I came up with the idea of sister love. Like
Sister love.
you're my sister, I got your back. Like this is our culture and we're supposed to have like our back in this thing. So I wanted to take the shoot to Africa. I wanted to give it like an Africa vibe. I wanted to bring out some colors in it. I wanted to bring out the togetherness as one, as black females in this picture. So I just like go for it. Like put those red and orange, like the red and yellow, sorry, together and just create something awesome.
That's amazing. And did
Yeah.
you find the styling yourself, or was that like a
Yeah.
joint effort?
No, I found my style in myself.
That's incredible. Like, I
Mhm.
think it's really beautiful as well, the picture that and the moments that you're kind of like creating. And it just kind of captures what you're speaking about. Like,
Yeah.
you don't see this like in every single magazine, but when you do see it, it just stands out.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. I think you're doing absolutely great, especially for like creating concepts. And again, like, with concepts like these ones, how did you get onto that stage of going back to 1960s? Because it kind of makes me feel like this is like such a vintage post, like a photo that's been like recolored again.
Right. So this shoot was from one of my friends. His name is Owen. He came up with the idea that he wanted to create something for Black Instruments, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, yeah, let's do it. And then he was like, okay, I want to bring it back to like old school, like how it used to look. So I was like, no problem, I got you on that. I said, let's go to Harlem. Let's create something beautiful because like he's a blogger as well. So he just came up
Mm-hmm.
with the styling, and I just came up with the posing and how I wanted the shoe to look like, and just find some like old school location to like definitely bring this photo to life. And I think
Yeah.
we did awesome on this photo. I really love this series a lot too. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think you capture like historic moments really well, and that's very difficult to do because it's like,
Hmm.
those places don't exist anymore and those people don't exist anymore, but like somehow you
Right.
bring it to life. And like
Yeah.
I love like the dramatic dresses as well. Like I think it's really hard job as a photographer. You got to also think about the styling.
Definitely, yeah. And that can be like very, yeah, it can be very confusing sometimes. Like you'll be taking the picture, you styling, you doing makeup,
Mm-hmm.
you finding location. It kind of can be burdening sometimes, but like if you kind of put your two and twos together, put it down how you want it to go, it will come out perfectly amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you think about colors a lot as well, like, what colors
Hmm.
go well, like I do as well, and you just do really well in like kind of matching them in the right places. And again, like
Right.
this looks such a throwback, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those vintage like 80s like funk. I don't know how to describe it,
Hmm.
but like it definitely gives me that vibe, 100%. So it's great. I love it. So yeah, definitely touching on those topics, like your roles as an artist and creative director. It looks like you got a lot of responsibility and a lot of things you got to think about.
Hmm.
So another topic I wanted to, jump on is like celebrating Black identity in your photography. Like what, like made you focus on, okay, I really want to like, focus on this as my specialism, and you do it so well. Just like looking at your work. So I'm just gonna jump to your website as well, where you've got a lot more examples. Um, so how did you get into that, and what made you want to like, specialize in it?
Okay, so I love working with black models. Like it represent
Mhm.
my culture and it represent what I stand for. So the
Mhm.
reason why I started working with black models is because like in the fashion industry, I I don't see where black models are represented a lot. So like I want to bring out my black models, give them a platform, let them know that listen, like you're great too. Yeah, like you're dope. You have something that the world needs to see. And like working with black models too is like very beautiful because like even like back in the days, even though it's like changing right now, you used to see like a lot of white females on the cover of a magazine, at the
Yeah.
back of the magazine, through the pages, and well, that was like not okay. So I wanted to like make it my duty to say, listen, our black models need to be represented more, and if
Yeah.
it should take me to give them that platform, I'm gonna definitely go ahead and do that.
I think you're doing an
Yeah.
amazing job, and like you're representing them in such diverse ways as well. Like it's insane like
Hmm.
how much like variety there is in terms of like their talent, their posing, you know.
Hmm.
And you like one of the things I really like about your photography is like how you edit, because I think it's so difficult to edit skin tones, and
Right.
but you bring out such richness like in the skin tones. Like how do you do it? Like what's your process for like the editing, and how do you like capture that like vintage look?
Hmm. So like to be honest, like when I'm shooting, I or let's say when I'm editing, I don't normally like use Photoshop a lot. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't like trouble the skin. I just leave the skin as it is. Like just let it be natural. So I just go for like mood tones, and I always like bring down my shadows, let the color stands out. I think that's what I've been doing to me. The skin color stand out like that. So I just like desaturate a lot, bring down my
Yeah.
highlights, my shadows, and my exposure,
Yeah,
and
I
that's
think you're
how
really
I
good
keep
at
it
like
beautiful.
exposing really well, because like the rest of it just looks so sharp, and like you said, like it looks dreamy, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Like it
like
looks
people
really
normally say
dreamy.
to me, like, hey, every time I look at your photo, like you're always giving me a story, like you're
Hmm.
telling a story through your photos. I was like, oh yeah, really? Like, cause sometimes I just like capture, just take a picture just because to take a picture's sake,
Hmm.
and like, but I don't know like the meaning that I'm giving to other people. That's why they always say like pictures tells a story, and
Yeah.
like that's what I want to continue to do. Like, keep on shooting, keep on telling a story to my picture, and let my picture touch people life and like inspire other people
Yeah,
to
definitely.
do
Well, I
better.
think I think you are, and the platform kind of speaks for itself. So,
Mhm.
what do like your models think about it when they begin to work with you? Like how do you get them comfortable, and how do you get them? Because are they used to doing like these kind of like poses, or do they just find it like, oh, this is really arty,
No.
like this is really weird?
No, so like my models are always are working with me. They love my photos. Like they be like, nobody never captured me like this. Like nobody never
Mm,
like bring out the true color. Like nobody like never tells a story
mm.
when I'm being captured. So I was like, that's great. And I just wanted them to feel natural, not too much, like not too over edit, not like playing with my skin tone, making them look brown. and stuff like that. So they just love working with me. They love creating with me, and they it's like what I create is good for their portfolio too.
Yeah,
So the high
100%.
fashion and like the fashion stuff, yeah, definitely great for them. So I think
Amazing.
they feel good, yeah, working with me.
Yeah, that's so good to hear. Well, I think you've got so much diversity again with your models, and like, how do you find them, or do they find you?
Like mostly I find my own models. And sometimes they do find me too. Like they would like reach out to me, send me an email, send me a DM saying, "Hey, I want to work with you." Or sometimes I'll just see somebody in the street, see them somebody in the train, and be like, "You look so great.
Really? That's
Please
so
let me
good.
shoot you." Like yeah, because like even the guy that you saw in the red jacket, that one right there.
Oh yeah, him. Yeah.
No, not this one. The next
Oh,
one,
this one
like
here?
the top. Yeah, yeah, that guy right there.
You just found him on the like
Yes,
on the
I
train.
saw him on the train. He was like standing in front of me, and I was like, "You look so dope. Do you have any experience in modeling?" He was like, "No," and I
Really?
was like, "We need to shoot. Let's do a shoot and see if it's something that you'll be interested in."
Mm-hmm.
And we did the shoot, and he loved it, and he said he wanted to get signed to an agency, and I walked him
Yeah.
through every step of the way, and yeah, he's doing great right now.
That's so good to hear, and it's like you're like a
Yeah,
little guardian angel just finding these people and just be like, let's
yeah,
shoot.
right.
Like, like that you should have made that into a video, just finding complete strangers and turning them into like
Right.
professional models. That should have been so good. But I
And
think it's
even this
so good to hear.
Yeah, even this girl right here too. She's so beautiful. Like I
Yeah.
saw her at where did I saw her again? I think I saw her at some meetup, and she was like, I went up to her and I'd be like, "Are you a model?" She was like, "No, not yet. I'm trying to find a photographer to shoot me to give me more
Yeah.
pictures so I can go up there." And I was like, "Girl, let's do something. Let's create something." And from that, she
Yeah.
taken off, and
These
she's been
shots
doing
are
great out there
so
too.
incredible, especially like, these ones and this one here. It's like flawless. I'm just like I think that like when I see your pictures, these are all like agency experience models, but like,
Right,
you telling me that a lot of them are just complete newbies. That's just
right.
crazy, isn't it?
Some
Like,
of them, yeah, experience, new biz, no experience. Like, yeah.
so you don't have a policy then. You're okay to like shoot with anyone as long as they have
Okay,
like a good.
as long as you have a great look, as long as
Mhm.
it's something that you're going for, I'm gonna definitely shoot with you.
That's so good to hear. I think, yeah, it definitely opens a lot more doors, and I think some people don't even know it that they're so talented. They just need that one
Right.
chance to like reach out.
Mm-hmm.
That's so good to hear. Well, I'm glad you're doing, so much for your community, because in New York there is like such a big community as well. Like you were talking about like Harlem, and like there's, I bet there's so much demand for people just to like take pictures and express people more authentically there.
Right.
So definitely it's great.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of moving on, to another topic that I wanted to talk about, which is, your experience with magazines, like, your high fashion and your editorial. That means you've done work for magazines. What has your experience been like for shooting for magazines?
I mean, it's been like great. Like, it's a great thing that I would like encourage photographers to do. Like, it's something that can give you your own platform, like that can pave the way for you as well. And like, but like, I do have some like because like I'm used to this though, like me creating my own stuff. Like I can post it anytime. But magazines, you have to wait like 3 months for the publications to come
Oh,
out and
yeah, I feel you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can't do that because like I'm the type of person I'm gonna be excited when I create
Hmm.
something and I say my people need to see this. Like
Hmm.
other people need to see this and needs to be inspired immediately. But like with magazines, like you have to wait like 3 months for the publication to come out.
That's
But
crazy.
other than that, it's amazing. Like it's great. It's like something that photographers should do.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely. So do you work with a team when you're in a magazine, or is it more so just yourself?
Just myself or sometime with a team if they want me to be there or not. But yeah, mostly most of them I mostly create for myself and like they get it.
Hmm. Yeah, that's
So
so
it just
cool.
yeah.
And I think I saw on your Instagram as well, actually, that you got mentioned on Vogue. And
Yeah.
yeah, what was that like? Like Vogue Italia.
Yeah, Vogue Italia is a platform like it's like for all photographers too, but like it gives you like an opportunity to be in the pages of Vogue Italia. But this one was totally different because I got the best like on Vogue Italia like photo of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like being featured on their website
That's
and
incredible.
on their yeah. So it was like amazing. It was
That's so
cool.
good. And just, in terms of like, shooting with magazines, like, what's your favorite magazine that you've done a shoot for, or like your favorite project that you've done a shoot for? Do you have to do like a huge concept? Do you have to like do all these big sort of like, preparations for a shoot for a magazine?
Yeah, not really. Like once you have the concept and once you know what the magazines, the issue is all about, you just like go in that direction, what they're looking for. But like all the magazines that I've worked with is like it's good, it's cool,
Mm-hmm.
like not a bad, not a good, but
Yeah.
like I think they're on the same level to be
Yeah.
honest. But it's great, yeah.
And do you go to them with concepts, or do they kind of tell you, listen, we're looking for something, can you do this?
Both. Like it can go both ways. Like I can create something and like send it to them, pitch it to them, and say, "Hey, this is what I've created," or they can like reach out to you and say, "This is what I'm looking for." So it kind of have like the two ways of like what they really want in their in their issue.
That's amazing. So just moving
Hmm.
on from that, like how did you actually gain the industry links to shoot for magazines? Because a lot of my friends and like even me as well, like I want to eventually get into that point of like maybe like doing shoots for magazines. So like, what's the best advice to like give people? Like, how can you get your foot in the doorstep of like shooting for a magazine?
Okay, so first I would say create. Like post on your Instagram, create your own content, have a platform on Instagram so
Mm-hmm.
you can like attract these magazines, you can attract these brands. Like so
Mm-hmm.
it's like I always tell a photographer that you cannot like message a magazine and say like, hey, I want to work with you or I want to be in a collaboration with you when you have no form of work on your page. Like what they're gonna see, they're not gonna see nothing to be like hiring you and say yes, we want to work with you. So the first step I will tell all my photographers to do is create, take pictures, post, create your own content. And the second thing I would like say for photographers to do is like network a lot because you can go to these networking events, you can meet people who have their own magazines, editors for magazines, people who partner with magazines. Like they're always at these networking events and stuff like that. So I would definitely encourage y'all to go out there and network and connect with people. Like search for networking events in your area. Search for events that's going on. Even the summertime is coming up. You can
Yeah.
definitely go out, go to these networking parties and find connection because like that's where a lot of them be. Like they're not gonna be in the club. They're not gonna be at
Mm-hmm.
brunch. Even though some
Yeah.
of them show up for brunch on their leisure
Yeah. Yeah.
activities, but like
Yeah.
definitely put your foot out there in the networking field. And third thing I could definitely encourage all my photographers to do is go online and reach out. Don't be scared to reach out. I don't care how your work look. I don't care if you just started. I don't care if you don't have this good thing about you that drive to push you to like reach out to them. Definitely reach out. You never know if that's your kind of style you're looking
Mm-hmm.
for. So
100%.
I'll
Yeah.
definitely say reach out. The magazine that you want to be in, study how they shoot, study what they publish in their spreads, study how their different styles. And if it's something that you feel comfortable with, if it's something that looks like your work, I'll definitely suggest you reach out to them. You never know.
Yeah.
Your
That's
picture could be on the cover of a magazine. Right?
100%, and that's such a great piece of advice because I think some people are always a little bit scared to make the first contact because they think that they're so far away to reach, But maybe
Mhm.
like it is just like a simple email or a DM, or like you said, networking events tend to be even more better for like just
Mhm.
meeting people directly. So combination of all those things is the best way. Is that what you're saying?
Right, definitely. So like never be scared to reach out and like even if they send you an email saying, I'm sorry, your photos
Mm-hmm.
doesn't match our publication, never let that get you down. I get that a lot. Like I get
Yeah.
like definitely gone
Yeah.
like it's not don't feel bad. It's not your work. Like it's not that your work is not great. Your styling is probably for Vogue. Your styling is probably for ID magazine and
Yeah.
you're settling less for a lower magazine. Like never
Mm-hmm.
you give up, never let a no like discourage you. Like your
Yeah,
work is
100%.
great. Like,
That's
because I
amazing.
used to have this thing, this hard thing finding my style in magazines. Like I didn't know what magazine like accept my type of shoots, like accept my kind of moodiness, my kind of style. And I used to get rejected a lot. Like
Mm-hmm.
definitely a lot. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna let this get to me. So let me just shift this and just cast my net on the other side and see if this is where my work fits. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes your work fits in the best of the best, but you're just settling for less. Let
Yeah,
me tell you that. Yeah,
definitely.
so just do what you got to do. Definitely.
Yeah.
And also, you can, like, there's a lot of magazines online too. Like, you have Picton magazine, you have Volan
Yeah,
magazines. Like,
yeah.
yeah, start from there. Like, start from there, experience from there. Like, that's the best I can tell you to do. Like, submit your photos. Yeah, it's a good platform for you to start
Yeah,
on.
the
Like,
online
yeah.
magazines is definitely a great one because I think they're a lot more easier to reach as well, especially because they have a lot
Mm-hmm.
of challenges and themes going on
Right.
per publication. So it
Right.
gets people involved a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's such
Yeah.
good advice, and I think, a lot of people are going to appreciate that as well. So definitely, like, I think as a photographer, like, it's one way to sustain yourself, like shooting for magazines, especially if you're into creative and art direction. I think magazines really appreciate artists a lot.
Right. Yeah. They do.
Yeah.
They
Well,
definitely do. Especially if they want your photos to like they want your photos to like help to build their magazine up, like
mm-hmm.
let
Mm-hmm.
their magazine look amazing. They definitely like would appreciate you for that.
That's incredible. Well, definitely, I think your work is like flying right now. So keep it up, and like hopefully we'll see you on more magazines as well. Like that would be incredible. So jumping off all those light-hearted topics and positive topics, I guess I just want to talk about. Obviously, you're in New York City right now, and obviously, like the news is kind of telling us about like how the situation is there. But from your experience, how are you finding things? In terms of photography and what are you doing right now? What have you had to do? How have you had to adjust?
Well, right now everything is on pause here in New York City. Let me just start from there. Everything is on pause. Everything is locked down, and I think creatives are being drained right now. Creatives losing their focus right now. But like, it doesn't have to go that way because like I always try to be productive. Like I know like it's not at a pace as how it used to be or what I'm used to, but I try to be productive. Like I just get up every day, write something, create a plan. So like I can say yes, after this pandemic, I'm gonna go hard. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna create like I never created before. So
Mm-hmm.
like for right now, it's kind of like on a pause and like I'm not gonna say I don't feel discouraged sometimes. I'm not gonna say I don't feel drained. I'm not gonna say like I don't feel like okay I can't be bothered. Let me just lay down, eat my snacks, watch Netflix. I'm not gonna say that. But if you get comfortable with just doing that, I think you're like putting yourself in a position where you're gonna like back off from what you're used to. So it can like be something like you still can be productive. Like, and I'll tell photographers this like you can be productive not because like it's like this now. I would definitely recommend you like go on your computer, edit pictures that you did from 2017. Like I'm
Yeah.
sure you don't have the same editing style like you did in
Oh,
2017.
100%. Yeah.
Try recreate that photo. Like I did a photo the other day with my grandma, and I took that photo in 2016. And the other day I recreated it, and it looks so beautiful. And I was like, wow, this is like something that
Mm-hmm.
photographers should be doing. Recreate, adjust, like go outside. Like you don't have to be like mingling with people,
Yeah, yeah.
like capture, like do something that is amazing and that will help you to be productive, that will even like boost your creativity even though you're not creating as how you used to. Just like do something that will be productive. It doesn't have to be like something big as before,
Mm-hmm.
but definitely you
Just
can
keep
still
those
do a good
creative
something.
juices flowing so when you
Yeah,
go back out, you don't
yeah.
just like hit a brick
Mhm.
wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we're gonna have a lot of hard time just readjusting when we go back out. Like, I'm gonna have to like take a week just to warm up again, and like holding a camera,
Wow.
just trying to like
Yeah,
train my eye again.
definitely.
Like it's
Definitely,
gonna take
definitely.
some time, just like reaching out to people and building that confidence again.
But even now, I think like it will be a best time for photographers. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think right now is the best time because everybody is like not busy, models are not busy,
Hmm.
makeup artists not busy. So I used to like sit down and be like, oh, can I just like plan a little shoot, not more than three people, just me, the model, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, but like I kind of like be weighing my option, be like, is it safe? Is it not? Is it safe?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like I think it's a good pace like right now where everybody's not busy, and I think this moment was created for people to even create like plan what you wanted to do, plan like stuff that your work has been taken away from you. You wanted to start your business, you wanted
Hmm.
to start blogging, you want to start a YouTube, but you couldn't have the opportunity to do that because you were so busy doing
Yeah,
other stuff. And I
yeah,
think this moment was created to start
yeah.
whatever you have been canceling, procrastinated. It's that
Hmm.
moment to start that design and start that podcast you wanted to do.
Yeah,
It's This is your
definitely.
moment and this is your time to shine. Just
Yeah.
start it.
Amazing. Well, I'm
Yeah.
glad you're taking, a more positive perspective on it because I think
Mhm.
like it's very draining mentally for a lot of people right now because there's a lot of temptation to go out and still shoot, but like you said, like there's so many like factors for safety and just like,
Right.
what's going on and like it just it hurts that the weather's so nice as well. I'm just like, oh my God, like
Very nice. Even right now, I'm like hot right now. It's nice outside, and
yeah.
I just great
Yeah.
day to
Well,
shoot.
mhm.
Yeah.
What do you think the demand is going to be like once, we get through this? Do you think there's going to be a lot of demand for people to like get out and start shooting as soon as possible? Or do you think there's going to be a really good time financially for photographers after this?
Financially,
Or
mm-mm.
do you think we're going to all have to take a hit?
I think like after this, it's gonna be. It's not like, to be honest, the world is not gonna be normal after this. Everything is not gonna be normal. I guarantee you. I can tell you that it's not gonna be the same as how it was before. And yeah, photographers is gonna go out there and create, and everybody's gonna be catching up on what they missed out. But as for like financially and stuff like that, I'm think people is gonna still be on pause because they want to ensure that everything is back on the right set. They're
Yeah.
gonna be skeptic and stuff like that. And like it's just gonna be like it's gonna take a while for everything to go back on the road it was on. So
Yeah.
I don't expect it to be like all bubbly or okay, I'm booking 5 shoots. Oh, somebody's getting married
Yeah.
this weekend.
Yeah.
No, it's not gonna be like that. It's not gonna be like that. So you
Yeah.
just gonna put yourself into it. Like when it's over, I'll say definitely hit up some models. Start like shoot like pace back yourself as to how it was before, and just like work your way into it, and probably
Yeah.
can be like, oh, blast something like that.
Yeah, that's amazing advice, and I think hopefully we'll all get back on track because I feel like we've all taken like 5 steps forward and like 6 steps backwards with this pandemic, and like we all have to start off as like newbies again, like learning to network again,
Yeah,
keep those clients, like
learning to reach out
negotiate.
to models again.
Oh, I know,
And just
yeah,
stuff.
definitely. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
I think it's a good way to show humility because it's like it's like you're learning like where you started from again and like how
Right,
hard it
right.
was definitely. So
Mhm.
I definitely think like we all have a lot to like still do. So it'll be good to see what it's going to be like afterwards, and hopefully it'll be soon and not too long. We'll see.
I hope so too. I just like
Yeah.
I want to have my summer like legit.
Yeah, yeah. If we can
Yeah.
get summer, that would be amazing. Because how do you feel about like in terms of like content wise? You feel like you're getting to that point where okay, I'm gonna keep re-editing, but I'm gonna eventually run out, or I have to do something different, or there's this new FaceTime challenge, or what shall I do? Like to keep like
I
how are you readjusting
I'm,
your
I'm
platform?
sorry. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm gonna go out and shoot. If this is past where they like, if I see it's not getting better, if it's like getting out of hand, I'm sorry. I'm gonna do something. It's maybe not as like dramatic as how I used to
Hmm.
make it be, but I definitely can't just sit down in here like not doing nothing. My camera is getting dusty. I'm
Yeah.
not using it. Like I gotta go out and even create something, even take 2 pictures and get back in my house, edit it, and yeah, I just got to do something, man. I
Hmm.
don't see myself like sitting down re-editing for 5 months, 10 months. No,
I think,
Hmm.
yeah, I see your point definitely, and I think everybody's gonna feel that soon, depending on how long lockdown's gonna be. What's the state of New York like? You know, like you told me about yourself, but how are other people feeling? Your maybe like your photographer friends, your model friends, are they all getting the itch?
Yeah, everybody's getting hit. Not only in New York, but every creative right now is getting hit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but all I can say is like, for them, I see where they're recreating too, reposting old photos that they've taken, like publishing on Instagram something that you've never seen and stuff like that. But I see where they're trying to be productive as well, because like it's be like an on and off, to be honest. Like this day I'm productive, the next day I'm just eating.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, but I'm seeing where they're being productive, not like it's used to. People be absent from Instagram for a month. I was trying to do that, but to be honest, I can't do that. Like I'm gonna go missing. Like,
Yeah,
and
people will
that's
be
not
like,
good for
where
your
is?
audience too. It's not good
Yeah,
for your
yeah,
audience, because when you're back, they're gonna be like, okay, where were you and
yeah,
stuff like that. But you gotta have this drive to encourage others. You
definitely.
encourage me, I encourage you. Like
Mm-hmm.
not because like we're going through this, we're gonna sit back and relax. Let's post a picture. Let's encourage our audience. Let's encourage our fans. I'm still
Mm-hmm.
here. I'm still
Mm-hmm.
trying to make the best of this situation.
Definitely, yeah, yeah. That's the main reason we're having this conversation. Just to remind people that we're still here and we're still finding
Yeah.
ways, and
Yeah.
like everyone is going through the same stuff. So yeah, I definitely agree. So oh, I think we may have lost connection. 1 second, guys. Be right back. We're back. Okay, there we go. Okay, so lots of amazing advice from you today, and just kind of breaking down your art style was incredible. Seeing everything you worked for was incredible, and just kind of seeing how you celebrate, Black identity and Black history, and just your roles as a creative director. There was just so much to unpack there. So, is there any final pieces of advice you want to give to people that are watching? Anything to just finish off on that you can tell people just keep, about photography?
Okay, so I'll say to all my photographers out there, all my creatives, all my MUAs, all my stylists, everybody, don't be discouraged by what's going around you, what's going on around you. Don't let this pandemic get to you. Don't let it weigh you down. Don't let it discourage you. You're still creative. It's fine. You're working at the pace you need to be. Okay? All these projects you wanted to work on, you're going to definitely kill it. Just keep on being productive. Keep on re-editing. Keep on making your plans, what you want to do after all this, because after all this it's going to be something beautiful. Okay, so like keep planning. don't
Yeah.
don't lose focus off your 2020 vision because of this whole virus. Your vision is still possible, and it's going to be amazing after all this. That's all I have to say.
Amazing. I think Instagram's going to crash after this just because of how many people are going to be taking pictures and just doing crazy projects. But I'm excited to see it.
All right.
And thank you so much for coming on the show. Like, it's finally good to like speak to you and just talk to you, about your creative work, because I don't think we ever get to see the person behind the camera that much. We always see their work.
Definitely. Yeah, people be like, even one of my friends the other day was like, you need to post more photos, you need to post
Hmm.
more. I was like, let me brand my photography first. Like
Yeah,
photos can
yeah,
come after.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know, like just on the tagline of this thumbnail as well, I see the picture you sent me, it said, tag your photographer. And it's just little things like that, obviously like make your photographers more aware of, like who they actually are. Cause I feel like sometimes photographers go underrepresented sometimes,
Right.
um, just because of little things like that. But I'm glad to see that,
Mhm.
you're rooting for the photographers and the models and everyone else. So yeah, thank you
Yeah.
so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure. And for everybody else watching, all the details for Kamyiis is in the description. Definitely give him a follow. Look out for any upcoming work. And yeah, I can't wait to see what other projects you've got in the future.
Definitely.
Yeah, thanks so much, and see you later, guys.
All right. Thank you so much, guys.